What's the meaning of selection? Selection is the second process of hiring new employees. Okay, we already discussed the recruitment process, which is related to collecting the CVs, for example, from the applicants, either through internet, online, or through the offline methods. Okay, after you collect the CVs from the applicants, then you need to select the best candidates. How can you select the best candidates? By comparing between the applicants, between the candidates. You compare between them and try to hire the best candidates. This is the selection. The selection means to select somebody. Okay, select somebody from a group of people. What's the importance of selection? If you did not select the best candidates, or if you select, for example, bad candidates, then this will affect your business. It will affect your business for long term. But if you select the best candidates, then it will affecting your business positively. That means your business will grow, and those employees, those good candidates, will help your business to increase. Okay, so this is the importance of selection. The search for the perfect selection method continues. Until found, a variety of imperfect methods is used to predict which applicant will be most successful. More attention is being paid to the cause of poor selection. That means the poor selection has some costs, okay, and this cost valuable to the organizations. Most of the organizations do not want to pay extra cost for poor selections. Another thing is that the selection is a two-way process. What is the meaning of two-way process? That means that when the company select good candidates, okay, in the same time, the company want to be selected by good candidates. That means that if the company has good reputation, like if you remember last time or last lecture, we discussed the idea of employer branding, right? If the company has employer branding, the company has good brand name, then most of the good candidates will apply to any new vacancies inside the organization, inside this company. Okay, and also the company will again select the best from the best employees, or top of the top candidates. So it will be good if the company make a good brand name, so that the good candidates will apply to any vacancies that are posted by this organization. Okay, this is the meaning of two-way process that the selection is about. It's very important to interact with the candidates. The company posted some vacant positions, and some of the people applied to these vacant positions. It's very important to reply to them that we already received your applications, and we will get back to you once we monitor or once we screen your application and we find that you are good in this in this job. Then we will reply to you, or we will contact you. Okay, just give the applicant an idea that you receive his application. Okay, these are the three major criteria, okay, in the selection process. The candidate, a good candidate, or we can say that the best candidate must achieve the organizational fit, the team or functional fit, and the job fit. First of all, the organizational fit. The organizational fit means that the candidate must have the same culture that's shared among the organization members, who's the employees and managers. A good candidate must have the same culture, the same way of thinking that's shared among the employees inside this organization. This is what we call it organizational fit. Okay. The second thing, which is the team or functional fit, the candidate must have a good experience, okay, and good skills that help him in doing this task or doing this function inside the department, okay, inside the department. Finally, the good candidate must have the certain or the required qualifications, skills, attitudes that help him in doing a certain task or a certain job. If those three conditions or those three criteria was met by the candidate, then this candidate will be good candidate for that job. Okay, as we see here, the organizational criteria often expressed in terms of personality, attitudes, flexibility, commitment, and goals. That those are the values and beliefs that are shared between the employees inside organizations. Functional and team fit, same thing. Individual job criteria, same thing. Choosing selection methods. First of all, we need to know what are the selection methods that we can find in different organizations. Those are the factors of choosing selection methods. How can we select a method of selection? Okay, or how can we approve one selection selection method by, for example, the selection criteria for the post to be filled. The selection criteria, that means the qualification needed, the skills needed, the experience needed by the applicant. And also, the methods should be appropriate and should be acceptable by the higher management of the organizations. The abilities of staff involved in the selection process affecting the selection methods. Administrative ease, time factors, accuracy, cost, all of these factors affecting the selection methods that we have to choose among different type of selection methods or different selection methods. Those are the major selection methods that we can see in organizations. The first and the most common type, which is the application form, either online application forms or offline application forms. If you go to a website like B203B-Human or any organization, you will find that they have a certain link for applying for a job inside this organization. You go to this link, okay, and fill a form by putting your name, your age, your education, and so on. This is what we call it application form. Okay. Another method for selection, which is the self-assessment and peer assessment. Self-assessment and peer assessment is a way of selecting some candidates. Like, for example, if you are working in any organization and the organization needs to fill a position by internal employee. You remember last lecture we talked about the internal recruitment, right? Internal recruitment means that the organization will advertise about the position inside the organization. So here in the peer assessment, the new job must be filled with a candidate by making assessment by his friends, okay, by his friends. For example, if you apply for a new position in your organization, then your CV or your application form will go to your peers, your colleagues in the organization, and they will assess you. They will make assessment for you. They will find out that if you are good in this job, in the new job, or you are not good in the new job. Okay. The third method is the telephone interview. If you applied for a position that's far away from your city, for example, if you are in Riyadh and you apply for a position in a company that exists in Dammam, for example, or in Hail, or in any city that's far away from your city, okay, then they will use this method. They will interview the candidates through the telephone, okay. And now, by the way, we have another way of interviewing, which is by the internet, right? By the internet or by Skype. Some companies, I know a lot of the companies are using, yes, Skype, yes, are using Skype in interviewing the new candidate, because it's very cheap, and it's also practical, okay, and also it gives the organization, gives them good idea or good impression about you. The fourth method is the testing method. Means that the candidates go to the organization and make a test examination, like the exam. Okay, they examine the candidates in order to find if they are suitable for this position or they are not suitable for the position. Sometimes the organization use what we call it group methods and assessment centers. Assessment centers. Those are like, for example, agencies or companies that are responsible for hiring the people. Okay, we call those companies, we call them headhunters. Headhunters. Sometimes you find this word in the internet, like, for example, in a Twitter account. Okay, you go to the bio of the Twitter account, and you will find that this guy is a headhunter. Okay, headhunter means that he is responsible for hiring people inside the organizations. Yeah, maybe LinkedIn. Yes, you are right. Most of the headhunters are there. Exactly, Ahmed. Also, you can apply for a new job by giving the organization, by giving them sample of your work, of your previous work. Okay. For example, if you are an artist, or if you are an architect. Architect means the engineer who is responsible for drawing the buildings. Okay. In this way, you can apply for architect position by showing the new organization, by showing them your previous architect works. Okay. And if they be impressed by your job, by your previous work, then they will hire you in their organizations. Okay. And finally, references. If you have reference in any organization, then those references will help you in finding a job inside the organization. These are the most common selection methods that we can find in the organizations. Okay, here some explanation about the different methods that we already discussed. Those are the different types of tests for selection. What we call it aptitude test, general intelligence test, special aptitude test, trainability test, attainment test, personality test. Each one of them is used in certain type of employment. Like, for example, if you applied in like in a security or in a critical job, like, for example, you are a pilot, okay, and you apply for a pilot job in one of the one of the airlines. Okay, then they will make a personality test for you to find out if you have any personal problems or personal diseases, because this is a very critical job. If you have any problem, any mental or any psychological problem, okay, then you will affect hundreds of people. Sometimes we use a matrix, okay, a matrix like this matrix to specify the best candidate by putting different criteria here, okay, and put different candidates here. For example, here they put candidate 1, candidate 2, 3, and 4. And based on the criteria here, for example, in criterion A, candidate 1 take 90%, candidate B or candidate 2 get 85%, okay, and so on. And then in criterion B, the same thing. Finally, the total or the general comments by seeing the total of all the criterias, okay, you will find the best candidate that's needed by the job. As a summary, as we said, selection is a two-way process, and we said that two-way process means that you as a candidate select the company and the company select you. This is the two-way selection method. Most of the time we use a combination of selection methods. Okay, most of the time we are not using one method. We use like combination of 2 or 3 methods. Some of the well-known and best used selection methods are the application forms, interviews, tests, group selection procedures, assessment centers, and references. Sorry guys, okay. The selection methods need to be, or the selection decision making needs to integrate all available selection information. You have to know the candidates well in order to find the best candidate. Okay, so by collecting all the available information, you can get deeper idea and deeper knowledge about the candidates. Finally, the selection methods should be validated.